So, hello everyone. How you guys doing? Good evening to all everyone. So, can you guys confirm? Am I audible? My voice is clear. Can you guys confirm once in the chat, please? Can you guys like confirm? Like, am I audible or not? We'll start with today functions and everything. Okay, I can see Ari and Avijit. Yes, yes, great, great. Okay. So today we'll start with functions. We'll learn about pointers today. Reference variable pointers. Those are the like few Yes, Parul. Like yes, everyone. Correct, correct. Thanks. So today we'll see few important topics. That is, we'll start with functions. Then we'll go with pointers, reference variable, how pointers is, like similar, like how it's connected to arrays. We'll see today. So we'll solve few problems also. Okay, great guys. My voice is clear. Like it's loud, right? You guys can hear it. And can you guys confirm the editor text is also like it's big? Please confirm once. Text editor size is okay, correct, guys? Can you guys confirm once? So I can start with it. Okay, great. Okay, you okay? Sorry, I didn't share my screen. Sorry. Okay, is my screen visible now? I shared my screen. I shared my screen. Yes. Okay. Like my bad. I shared my screen. Can you guys see the screen? Okay, great, Avijit. Thanks. My font is like it's big enough, right? The compiler font is big enough, isn't it? So, okay, thanks. So today we'll start with functions. Yesterday, what we started, I'll go through once. Then we started yesterday. We started with what if else statements. Then there we saw if and else, like if like if statement is executed when it is true, otherwise it goes to else. We saw some one two problem there. Then we talked about the loops, for loop, while loop, and I told you guys to do the homework for do while loop. I'll not go through it again. So for loop we check that initialization we have to do, then we have to check the conditions, right? So in the code we have seen that when we do the for loop, basically what we do, we do the initialization, then they give the condition and then update. And in while loop what we do, like we give initialization first, then in while we write the condition, then inside that while loop we write the updation code. So if you guys practice, that will be very good to you. Okay, that's what we saw yesterday, this thing, initialization, condition and update for loop. So we took one two example and of that for loop and while loop, and we did the thing. Okay, now today we'll start with function. I'll write the heading here. So today we'll start with function. I'll take example also. Okay, today we'll start with function. Okay, let me. Okay, great. So today we'll start with functions. So function is what? Like I generally try to take one example that before talking about function, I'd like to tell something like, before when you like suppose you go to a restaurant, correct? So there you will find what? Receptionist will be there, waiter will be there, right? Chef will be there, everyone will be there, right? Everyone has the different task, isn't it? Receptionist has different task, and waiter has different task. The who like chef is there, they have different tasks. So how analogy we can make is, right, like the restaurant we can call it as main function. We studied about function, right? Like we already saw this, that I told that this is main function in the code. like whatever printing where. So if you want to analogy with that, restaurant, in a restaurant, chef will be there, correct? Waiter, receptionist, everyone will be there. So restaurant is what, that is main function. Within that, chef has different tasks to do, waiter has different tasks to do, all people have different tasks to do, right? So that is the, those are the individual tasks within that restaurant. So the restaurant, we can analogy to it, to what, as a main function, correct? Then receptionist, until unless you call reception, like other, like you go to the restaurant and you're sitting on there, and you don't call the waiter, so he or she will not like understand, right? Like what order you want to make, you have to call them, then you have to give the order, whatever things are there, right? So try to, like what I'm taking example, try to what, do analogy with whatever we are going to study today. Are you guys getting it? So we'll try to print this hello world using function. Like this is normally we are printing, but calling a function, how we call a function, before calling, before going to the code, we'll basically understand how a function is written and everything we'll see. Okay, I have to cover lots of things today, so I'll go fast today bit, because these are the things we cover. Like if you see the syllabus, like this is the full stack program syllabus. If you see the syllabus, we take lots of classes for functions and everything. So as I have to go for only one lecture for function arrays, and so pointers I am also taking, and reference variable also I'm taking. So I'm trying to giving the analogy, try to connect with that. Okay, so there are two type of functions, guys. So one is user defined function that we'll see today, correct? We'll make functions of our own name. It can be my name, it can be Abhijit's name, it can be Parul's name, or whoever there in the like in the live session, their name. It can be like Anu name. Okay, so I I mean is what I mean is like, that is what is user defined function, correct? So next is what, predefined function. So where we saw predefined function, you see here, see out we are using, see in we are using, those are predefined, isn't it? So those are what, those are predefined function. It is like you don't have to declare things like write definition what see out will do. It is already written in the compiler that see out is to print the thing, see into taking the input from the user. That is the functionality of those see out and see in. So what is function mean is, like it will have some task to perform. So when we make user defined function, we give the definition inside that function that this task will be done. So as I took the example of restaurant, right? Restaurant I told as what, main function. So when we go into restaurant, chef is there, receptionist is there, waiter is there. So their task is already predefined, isn't it? So chef has the work of cooking. Waiter will like take your order, and like those things. Are you guys getting it? So cashier will take the cash. So their what, their functionality is already defined. So today we'll try to do user defined function. Like we'll try to create any function name. Suppose waiter is there, we'll write some other function name according to ourselves, like whatever function name we want to give. So we'll try to see that. So are you guys understanding functionality, like what is function, how do we use function? So basically we do function declaration. Three things we do: function declaration, function definition, and function calling. So this first three things we have to do for writing a function, correct, in a code, correct? But this thing can be skipped. This first thing, function declaration, can be skipped when, if we write that this is already, we call that this is a driver code, right? Driver code. This main function is what? This is a driver code. Main function is analogy to what? The restaurant. Are you guys getting it? This is analogy to restaurant. Like its functionality is like restaurant will have something, all those stuffs will be there. Like whatever the functionality inside is there, that will be there, correct? So this is called driver code. So we can skip this function declaration when, so we'll skip this today. Will I, like if I try to explain everything, each and everything, then it will be like only function class only, and it will not finish. So function declaration can be skipped when we write the main function at the last. When you write the driver code at the last. Are you guys getting it? If you want to write the some function after this, suppose I want to define some function after this here. So that time I need to declare the function here. So that time step 1 is necessary, otherwise compiler will give error. Are you guys getting it? So otherwise compiler won't know, like if you writing. So to skip the function declaration, what you have to do, you have to write the driver code at the last. So that will skip your what, that will skip your function like declaration, correct? Second is what, function definition. Function definition, what analogy will give? Like main function, we know that as main in our code, main function is main. But what we trying to analogy with, we are trying to analogy with what, today's topic is function. Today's topic is function. Yes, yes, syllabus is pretty big. So yes, Avijit, syllabus is like it is structured in that way that you guys will understand data structure fully, C++ data structure, then JavaScript and all those stuffs in the full stack program, what is there. So it is huge. One-to-one mentorship is there. I'll let you know at the last these things. Okay, let me continue with my flow. Correct. So otherwise, like it will be get between. Okay. What I'm telling is, I'm trying to function, I'm trying to analogy with function definition. So how we can see analogy with function definition in restaurant is the main function, and inside that chef, waiter, all those are functions are there. So there we chef function is what, functionality is what, cooking. So that is already written inside that human being, that chef had learned that skill of cooking. So that is that functionality, isn't it? Suppose cashier is there, so he is an accountant maybe. So that skill is gained by that person. But when we try to write in our code, that time we have to give that to that code, right? Like what it can do. So that will, that time that functionality will be given to that function name. So that time what will happen, it will gain some skills. That function will gain some skills. How we'll give those skills to that function, we'll write inside some code. So that is what we call it as function definition, correct? Don't try to go with these are syntaxes, don't try to go with this. We already told that we'll skip the first step. Because why? uh, I already told, because if we write the driver code at the last, main function at the last, and if we don't define any function after that main function, we don't need to declare a function. Compiler is known to that. So we'll skip this first step. So second is what, function definition. I already. Then what is the syntax of that writing? So we write the return type. So people were saying void and all the stuff. Today we'll see that day if I would have taken, lots of people don't wouldn't have like understood, because lots of people are there from non-tech background, correct? So I have to take care of everyone. So I don't want to confuse that day, so I didn't took that thing. So that we learn in function. Return type, here it can be written as int, double, void, or all the stuff. We'll see void, like how statement returning something when function is not returning, how we write the code, all those things today we'll see that everything. Don't worry about that. So what is the syntax of function definition? Basically we write the return type. In return type, what it comes, it comes int, double, or what, void. Void means returning nothing. Then we give the function name. Function name may be Avijit, Banani, Anu, Amit, anyone. Function name can be anything, but we'll try to give those names which is like related to what we are writing. Suppose we are creating, I'll give you assignment today. Suppose I want to print the area of a circle. So I'll give as area as a name, correct? Area. Then this is very important. You see round bracket. This round bracket is very important when you're writing the function. So here what is coming, parameter. Like inside this, parameter is given, correct? So data type inside, like we call is, like when we write something pass into the function, we call it as what, parameter, isn't it? So I'll tell you the difference between parameter and argument. People will get confused, like people lots of places people saw, like what is parameter, what is argument. When I'll take the code, I'll try to make differentiate on that thing, correct? So here I have written, like you may pass something inside the function or you may not. Are you guys getting it? So first of all, we'll do one problem, that in that function we are not passing anything, correct? So we'll see that, and we also see that passing something, that is also we're going to see, and I'll give homework also, correct? Then inside this we write the some statement, that is code we are, and returning return statement. If void is there, no need to write the return statement, and if, because void means what, returning nothing, correct? And if int is there, we'll return something. We'll also see that example. Then function calling. Okay, you go to the restaurant, now you want to order the food. So the restaurant, the whoever is taking order, he don't know like what you going to order, like whether you going to take ice cream or chicken, like chili chicken or anything. Are you getting it? So that is not, that is not known, right? So you need to call that function. Okay, like you go to the restaurant, you'll call, waiter come here, you called, right? So function also need that in coding. Before doing some functionalities, going to the function definition, we first call it, we first call it from main function, correct? So how it is, calling a function is done, we directly write the function name and list of parameters. If there is no parameter, will not write it inside that, round bracket, and if it is there, we'll write. Okay, next is reference, well all those things we'll see. Let us take example of that function what we taught. So want to print, so want to print hello world using function. Okay, so this is our task, correct? No, object and classes will, like it, then those are there, see objects and classes, everything there. I get you. Object and classes, everything is there, but I cannot cover everything, functions I'm covering, reference, because pointer variable, reference variable I'm going to cover today. So that only I give 2 3 classes for explaining pointers. More than 2 3 classes, pointers and reference variable and functions only I give generally 5 6 classes. So that is I'm covering in, one class. Are you guys getting it? So object and classes, that is whole into object oriented programming, that we don't didn't took, because today I'll start with arrays, then tomorrow stack, then at the next day we'll start with like functions, everything we'll see. We'll create a program that is like project, that is calculate a small project of maybe 100 lines of code, whatever there. So we'll try to do that. So objects and classes will not be covered. So it will be very difficult to cover in this 5 days. Are you guys getting it? Because it's already, the sessions are decided what is there. Yes, correct. Objects and classes, for object oriented programming I give at least one week. Their object and classes, then inheritance, all the types of inheritance, polymorphism, abstractions, all those types of like oops concepts are there, those are covered there. Okay, correct. So we want to, this is already printing, right, hello world, without using function. So if we want to create a function, correct? So what I said, I'll remove this, like we want to print hello world using writing function, correct? So suppose what I said, you go to restaurant, before you order food you call a person, right? Okay, so suppose I want to write as display as the function name. My function name is what? Suppose display, correct? So writing function name is calling, this is what calling function, like whenever code is started, it start from the main function. Okay, it start from the 13 lines of code, correct? Then it enters there, then I see display, and when round bracket is there, no, it means it's a function. Remember this thing, when round bracket is written after some like written something, and round bracket is there, it means what? It is a function. Basically here what is happening, it's a calling of function. So you go to restaurant, you go main is restaurant, we are giving analogy, main as restaurant, we get to restaurant, then we call, before we define, we call it, correct? So we written the name, the function name as what? function name as display, correct? Then we call, okay, we call, now we give, want to give the display as what? The definitions also, right? We written what? We need to give the function definition, because if you go to restaurant and you call the like chef, suppose, so it, they will start their work because they already gained their skills that of cooking, but we have to define in a code, right? So we will define what greet, like what this display function will do. So I'll give, for definition, what we do, we give return type. Where is that function definition? What we do, we give return type. So we'll go with void, suppose, okay, that it is returning nothing. This function will return nothing, correct? So display, all right, display. Here I've given again round bracket, it means display, this displays that function, isn't it? Now inside that function I'll write something, that what it is going to do, it is going to, what we want to do, we want to print hello world using function, isn't it? So what I'll write, cout, what, cout hello world. Now I terminate the by like, statement. This is called the whole, every line is what, fourth line is statement, sixth line is statement. Are you guys getting it? So oops is not covered, by the way, Ian. uh, Declarations, I mean, how to write the syntax. And see, Ian, we are not covering oops. Are you getting it? Because today's topic is array function, then after that its topic is array, then tomorrow stack. Are you getting it? So oops is basically not covered in this bootcamp because it's not possible to cover everything. You know, try to cope up with this thing. Like you'll get to know. Try to, like, I'll tell at the last how, what can you do. Okay, so here you see, I'm not writing any return statement here. If I write return, no, it will give error, because this function is what, void. Void means what, nothing, it returns nothing, so I cannot write return here. So we'll see, if I write int here, int and function name, we'll see that also, right? If I write this, no, we'll see that also thing, correct? So in the further video, when I take example, we'll see. So this is what, code start from 16 line. It came to the restaurant, that is we are calling as main function, correct? Then it went to, like, we want to call the chef, like chef already skills is that to cook. So we are calling display function. This is means what, calling. There is no data type, it's written, it's directly function name and this round bracket and terminations, correct? This means what, calling of function. This means what, definition. If I only write this, no, void display, and I terminate the statement, that will be what, declaration of function. But this whole thing inside we have given what, cout, this is what, definition of a function. I'll try to make it readable more, so I'll give space, you know, I'll try to cover this. Okay, so this is what, now this should run because we are calling here, we are calling display function. So from 18th line, what will happen, this code, when I'll run, no, it will come to line number 15. Okay, it started from main function, then it went to 16. Okay, it went to the curly, like within the scope, it went there. And in 18 line we see that it is calling display. So before, like, calling display, but display should have some functionalities, isn't it? What functionalities it has? It has functionality of printing the hello world. So we written cout, correct? So it's from 18 line, it will not go to 19 line and then 20 line. From 18 line it will directly jump to 8th line, because calling of function is happening. So from 18 line it will go to 8th line here. Now it enters here. Are you getting it? It enters here. So it prints the hello world. Because of this it enters, it's already hello world written, so I'll write hello world, suppose 1, to differentiate. Okay, we are printing the hello world 1, so we want to see the difference here. Hello world already printing, so we'll write hello world 1. Okay, 100, suppose hello world 100. So make it differentiable, that okay, we print like this is working, correct? Now when it terminates, then it comes, then it says that okay, exit, then it will return exit code is 0, like it program runs successfully, correct? So if I run it, you see hello world 100 done. Are you guys getting it? Everyone getting it? How it's done? Avijit, everyone, everyone getting it, right? How it's done? So that is with what? With void. Like functions return type is what? That is returning nothing. Here we are returning nothing. So I'll copy this one and I'll paste it in the notepad. Okay. Okay. Great. Next. Next is we'll try to we here you see we have taken some parameters and everything. Here I have not written anything. No parameter taken. No parameter taken, right? Now we'll try to write a functions with parameter. Suppose we want to print some numbers on anything with parameters, and like that will be what? Void only. After that I'll go to return statement, like int, something int will be written as display function and something will written. So now I want to put some parameters inside this. Are you getting it? So that I want to write. Suppose again I am writing, letting the function name to be display. I can write anything here, but I am letting the name to be display. Okay, suppose I want to print some numbers here. I want to print some numbers here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So I want to print suppose two numbers here. So what I'll do, I'll suppose I'll give, I'll declare and give the initialization of that number. Suppose I am taking int n1, okay, equals to 67. Suppose this statement means what? N1 is a variable which has value assigned as 67. This is how it is written, like we read it. This is how we read it, that int n1 equals to 67 means what? N1 is a variable of integer type. I cannot write 67.8 because n1 we already told that it's a integer. So 67.8 is what? Either it's a float double, isn't it? This is a real number, isn't it? So we'll write 67. Now next we want to write another int n2 equals to suppose 89. Okay, so this is what initial, like if I write only int n1, then I terminate. That is what? Declaration. Now this is whole is what? This statement. We did initialization n1 with what? 67. Here we n2 we did initialization with what? 89. Correct. Now we are taking parameters, isn't it? Before like while we are printing hello world, we didn't took any parameter. Now what I'll pass here? I'll pass n1 comma n2 here. You guys getting it? Because we want to pass these values inside this function, display function. Now what I have to change here? Again I'm using void here, guys. Again I'm using void here. So no need to return anything, because void means it return nothing. We'll see one example also. There we are returning, correct? We'll see addition of numbers or something, and that will be returning something, correct? So I'll let you the flow of the code again. Okay, print numbers using function, correct? Oh god, we are already 31 minute past, Okay, great. Then what I'll do is I'll do C out here. Like before C out, this parameter need to pass here, right? What we saw in function calling, we give the list of parameters. That is, we have given n1 and 2. Now in the function definition, what you have to write? Data type and parameter name. So this n1 is of which type? Int type. This n2 is of which type? Int type, correct? So inside this we'll write what? Int what? N1. Then I'll write comma. Then I'll write int n2. If this was float, anything, any number were there, then we have to write float here also. Are you guys getting it? Since n1 is int, integer, n2 is integers, that's why I'm writing integer here, and these two values will be passed here. What is the value of n1? That is 67. What is the value of n2? That is 89. So these values are given here, and from here the values goes to here. Are you guys getting? So I'll write what? Cout. I'll remove this. The n1 is what I have to write? N1, correct? Cout n2 is n2, isn't it? Here if I give no space or something, no, it will come like so I will give some blank space. Okay, great. So one thing is, if I suppose if I now run this, because now code is, this functionality is over, because we want to print 67 and 89 here, correct? So if I run, suppose, see, the n1 is 67. Okay, I'll give gap here. I'll give gap here. Now I'll run it again. So n1 is 6. If I want to print in the next line, what I'll do? I'll remove this and I'll write endl. It will go to the next line. So it's coming in the horizontal line, right? If I give endl there, so it will come to the next line. So you see, the n1 is uh, 67. N1 value is coming. So how the code is running? Let us go through. So whenever the code runs, it comes to the 16 line, because it start from the main function. Okay, it went, then we declared one variable, that is n1, and we initialized with value 67. So how it's read? So n1 is a variable, we initialize n1 with 67, then we initialize n2 with 89. Those are of integer type, so that's why we take an integer, correct? Then we have written a display function, correct? That n1 comma n2 we are passing. These are what? Parameters. N1, N2 are what? Parameters. So we are passing the parameters here, correct? So here we have passed. So one thing is, then this from 21 line, it will not go to 23, 22, 23, 20, 24 line. From 21 line, it will jump to line, because calling, we called display. Where is the display function? Now this code will try to find it. So we found it here in what? In the eighth line, that display function defined here. Okay, now inside the parameter, what is right? Int n1. So this n1 can be anything, this name can be anything. Like this variable name is independent of this. If I write, suppose here Abhijit, correct? And if I write here name, suppose Anu. Okay, so here I have to change Abhijit, correct? And here I have to change. Okay, I need to Anu. Okay, here I have to change. If you see, the same number will be coming out, because this n1 and n2 variable is independent of this. Like, what we can pass any name. I have written n1, n2, that's fine. If I run, no, you see, there is no changes. Are you guys getting it? So this name can be anything. In the when we in function definition, when you do, this name can be anything, because what it is doing is, n1 value is 67, n2 value is 89. So here it is coming from display. N1, that is 67, is passed to Abhijit. 89 is passed to Anu. Now we are getting the value from here. We already passed, like we already assigned the value 67 to what? Abhijit. And that 89 to Anu, isn't it? From here it is going there. So it there will be no change. like this is independent. Separate memory blocks are created. It means what? Separate memory blocks are created for this variable and these variables. N1, N2 are independent. If I write N1, N2 also, no problem. If I write any other variable name also, no problem. So this is the thing. Okay, I'll copy it and I'll paste it in here again. Okay, are you guys getting it, everyone? So in C++, basically we have to return something. Yes, if you write void no, that will give error because you have to return something. Are you getting it? Okay, its time is getting. I'll try to cover fast. How I'll cover, I don't know. Okay, great. If okay, now this function is done. Please go with the returning something. I'll not try to cover that reference variable. How I'll do everything. Okay, so suppose your one task is try to do with I've used void here, right? Try to take one example that is returning something that's int. Suppose adding of two numbers, something like that. Okay, I'll take it fast. Suppose suppose uh, suppose this will some return something, correct? So I'll write int. Okay, now I'll change the function name as some like anything. I can give anything. Suppose I want to do addition of two number. Addition, so I give addition, correct? Here I give variable name as n1 and I give n2. Okay, great. N1. Okay, I have to change here, no problem. So I have given the function name as what? Addition. So here I have to also change addition. That is, I can give anything here. Are you getting it? So before that, what I have to do? Okay, suppose these are the values it's giving, correct? Okay, great. I'll try to do what? I'll try to store this in some variable. Suppose value equals to addition. So I am storing right now. What I'm doing is storing this value in like storing whatever the things in value, so I can print out, isn't it? So let's see how it's done. Suppose I want to now value is not defined in this function, so I value will be what I want to add. Integers. So value will be what? Integer. So I'll declare that variable, that value variable we have taken. That is, this addition is assigned to value, correct? Now int value I have written, correct? So this is what we are doing. This is the without taking that initializing the value here, I directly will give some numbers here. Suppose 56 and 92 I want to add, correct? Okay, I'll not let you confuse. I'll remove this first. No, okay, let me remove this. Okay, suppose I have writing this and suppose forget this thing. Okay, I'm writing, suppose I'm passing this directly, correct? This thing, and now I have to give the what? Function definition. So I'll write the function definition right now. I have written int, so I have to return what? I have to add these numbers, so I have to return what? Return n1. Return n1 plus n2. This is the return I have to do because I want to add these numbers. So what will happen? This is function calling happening here. Correct. So from 19 line, it will go to the 8th line. 56 is given to N1, 92 is given to N2. Correct. So in returns, because it's a int, so I have to return some value. When I was writing void, it was returning nothing. So I have to return something, correct? So 50 here, what is returning? N1 plus N2. So 56, because 56 value is given to N1, 92 is value given to N2. So it will add and it will return to where? In the main function, correct? Now I have to print this also. I haven't print, so it will return back, but I have to print it. I have to check whether it added or not, whether it added and return that value or not. So what I have to do is, I want to store that addition, whatever things are there, what I want to print that into some variable. Suppose as value, I create some variable that is value, that whatever is that is coming, that will be stored. So I have to declare that also, because value is not known to compiler, isn't it? So I have to give that value will be what? Because this is addition. This is addition. So addition of integers. So value will be what? The integer only. So I'll declare that as value. Now I need to print, because from 9 statement it will come to here again after like 20 statement, isn't it? So what I have to do is, I have to print that out also. So what I'll write is sum is, I'll write sum is, and what I have to write, which function is giving, we stored in value. You see, value. So sum is what? Value we stored in here, isn't it? So if I terminate this and I run this, okay. So you see, sum is 148. If I suppose write 100, 100, it should give 200, isn't it? Are you guys getting it? So earlier what I was using, void, isn't it? Here I can directly see out this addition function here also. I have taken this value, stored it here, and everything I did, right? If I don't want to do that, suppose I want to don't want to do that, suppose I want to do this, and I suppose don't want to give the value and everything, nothing I want to give. So what I have to write is, I'll directly take this function inside this. So directly what is happening, it is calling as well as printing the value. You see, so this is look very like different, like it's a very long statement it goes. That's why what I did, I stored in a variable, I stored in a variable value, then I print that. You can directly do it here also. If I change some things here, I do 400, so that will also work, no problem in that. Are you guys getting it? This is what calling of function is also happening, at the same time printing out the statement also, that statement here calling is happening and printing that statement also. So this is the thing. Are you guys getting it, everyone? Yes, correct, correct, thank you guys. Okay, great. So by this we are done with functions. Okay, for now we are done with functions. We'll go with reference variable and pointers, because I'll not try to explain the reference variable, because basically reference variable is those that variable which has like same name, nickname. Like suppose one person have, like my name is Amit, like my different name will be, my mother will be calling or my father will be calling with different. So that is what reference variable. In reference variable, what happens is, so these are the terms. Don't try to get confused. Like I'm covering very fast, so you may get confused. But don't get confused. I like my intent was to basically understand your reference variable and pointers, then I move to what, arrays, because pointers and arrays are very related. Are you getting it? Because array name is up itself, it stores the address. So pointer variable is what? Okay, first of all, I'll tell you what is reference variable. So reference variable is what, guys? Reference variable is a variable that has another name, basically. Are you guys getting it? So if you see here, int x equals to 5. So x is what? Ordinary variable. Like it's a normal variable. We already declared right here when we used to write the code. Int, suppose here in the previous code we have written int n1 equals to 67 we have given. So that is what? A regular variable, normal ordinary variable. But when I write int star x, so that time this becomes pointer variable. This star is called what? Dereference operator. So this is star is called dereference operator. So initially we'll call it star only. Okay. So int star x, if we write, so that is what is that, guys? That's a pointer variable. We are just defining pointer. So, and normal variable stores what? Normal variable store values. We call also literals also. Those values are also called as literals. Another name is given in the program to scare people, you know. So we, some people may call it literals. Literals nothing. Literals means that 5. 5 is the literal. Are you guys getting it? So we store value in ordinary variable, but in pointer we store address of that variable. Don't try to read this. If you understand, it's okay. I'll not go deep into this. Okay. So pointer variable is that thing. A reference variable is nothing but it's a another name of that variable. So how? Okay, I'll try to cover that this. No, I'll not skip it. Okay. So how to say it's a reference variable or it's a pointer variable? So one thing I'll say, when this ampersand operator is used right side of this assignment operator, then we, like this is read as address of x. So it will be written as p stores the address of x. But when this ampersand operator, it's written left side of this assignment operator, it will be read as what? Y is a reference variable of x, means y is another name of x. Reference variable means what? It's a another name, because one person can have two different name, right? My name is Amit. My father may be calling with different name. Suppose my father is calling me with, Subhojit. Okay. So what is that? Subhojit and Amit are the both same thing, isn't it? Just we are calling with different name. So when the ampersand sign is used left side of the assignment operator, we read it as what? It's a reference variable. Y is a reference variable of x. But when ampersand is written right side of assignment operator, what is assignment operator? This equals to, we are calling it equals to as assignment operator. When right side we write as, then we call as address of x. You see the difference? Sometimes we are reading as address of x, people get confused of this. When to call address of x, when to call, because in both ampersand sign is there, but one is after the like one is right side of assignment operator, one is left side of assignment operator. You see the difference? Okay. So this is the difference. So what pointer, what I said, so no need to, like I already covered that reference variable, so that you get understand there is no relation with this arrays and everything. I wanted to cover that, so that I covered. Okay, because those pointer variable and reference variable both take ampersand as a sign in there, so you don't get confused. That's why I covered that. Okay. So what is pointer variable? Normal variable, what it does? Normal variable stores value. Normal variable store value. You see, this is x is a normal value, it stores only 5. But when you talk a pointer variable, it store what? Addresses. Okay. When I write int a equals to 10, what is happening in the memory? Block of code. These are what? Memory blocks. These are memory blocks that get created in, that's already there in RAM. Are you getting it? So a is a variable, it needs space, isn't it? A is a variable, so it needs space. A is what? Int variable, so it will have what? 4 bytes. So suppose I am assuming that it is starting from 1024. It can be anything, like I don't know, like in memory how it's like hexadecimal value may be there, but I'm supposing it's 1024. So as int is of 4 bytes, it will take 4 byte of 4 blocks. Are you getting it? 1 2 3 4. This is for a variable, and it will be stored in the first position. Are you guys getting it? So what happens in memory when we write int a equals to 10? A memory block is given like this, and every block which has value, a variable has value 10 here, so I've written here, it has some address. So this address is stored by pointer variable. So how we define that pointer variable? This statement, int star ptr equals to ampersand of a. You see, this ampersand sign is written after equals, like a, assignment operator, equals to operator. For simplicity, I'm saying equals to operator for now. So it is written after what? Ampersand is written after of assignment. So this is a pointer variable, correct? So what will be written? Ptr is a pointer variable. It can be anything: Amit, Shubham, Anu, anything. This ptr can be named anything. Ptr is a pointer variable which stores the address of a, which stores the address of a. Are you guys getting it? So this is how pointer variable is defined. So you see, this ptr stores 1024. This ptr stores 1024 because ptr is a what? Pointer variable. Are you guys getting it? So if I do cout ptr, no, it will give 1024. Are you getting it? It will not give 10, because pointer variable stores what? Address, not value. If I want to print 10, what I have to do is, either I directly write a here, or I write dereference it, the dereference operator, star operator, and then ptr pointer variable. That time it will give value. When you use star operator and then write pointer variable name, that time it will give value. It means dereferencing of that. Are you guys? If I simply write ptr, cout ptr, then it will give address 1024. This address will be printed. Are you guys getting it? Yes, correct, correct. Are everyone getting it right? Yes. Okay, okay, great, great, great. So that was pointer variable. Now today's topic was basically arrays, correct? So array is a data structure, like what I've written. Suppose, what is the principle of array? Basically, suppose you want to store thousands of numbers, suppose. So you cannot, like, everything can be stored, like, then you have to make 1,000 variable, because one variable can store one value only. As you know, like, here we have seen what? Int a equals to 10. I cannot write it is a storing 10 also, 20 also, 30 also simultaneously. It is not possible, isn't it? So array is what? Array store, like, if I suppose, in a class there are 100 students, suppose, like, in a class 100 students are there, and they obtained some marks, guys, okay? So if I want to store their marks, then I have to create 100 variables, isn't it? A, B, C, D. Suppose I am writing something variable name, so I have to create 100 variables to store those marks. But that is not optimal solution, isn't it? That's not optimal solution. So there come a concept of array. This is a data structure, basically store, uh like, it can store number of variables at once. Are you getting it? So you have to declare that there is a syntax of defining array. Then you have to, like, how to initialize an array, how to get output from an array, how to, like traverse an array, like one dimensional array, two dimensional array. Matlab, it means, like, when you write in, like, only one dimension is that it's called as one dimensional array, only one way of defining the numbers. Then 2D array is also there, 3D arrays there, multi-dimensional, we call it as, so there comes the concept of array at data structure. Otherwise, if array was not there, then for storing 100 people marks or 1,000 people marks, you have to create 1,000 variables. So you see the difficulty, like, it will take lots of space in the memory, okay, and it will make the code unnecessarily long. So that's not an optimal solution. And we, in computer science, what we strive for the time complexity and space complexity. We want less time to run the code, and we want less space to take. These are the things we care about in a computer science. So there comes the data structure as array. Similarly, stack will come, queue will come, linked list will come, trees will come, binary search tree, and all those stuffs will become, those have different functionalities. So basically, I take, for array, I take 5 6 lectures, not 5 6 lectures, more than 7 8 lectures for arrays only. Are you guys getting it? So what is an array? Array is a data structure that store collection of values at the same data type stored in continuous memory locations. I'll tell you what this means. Okay, let us understand from here. Array is a data structure. Okay, we understand array is a data structure that store collection of values. Okay, we got it because we want to store, suppose 100 people marks in an array. So this is a collection of values, isn't it? Of same data type. So it cannot be right array in array. You cannot put like 1 then 1.5. I have written 7, 9, 8. All are integers. Means what? Same data. I cannot put 9.1 here. I cannot put 9.2 here because this is of not same data type. This, like, what is the definition? Definition is which should have same data type in continuous memory allocation. I'll explain this. Continuous memory allocation means what? I cannot put 9.2, but I can put 7.1, 9.2, 4.1, 5.6, 2. If I want to put integers, then I have to put integers only. If I want to put strings, suppose Amit, Shubham, Anu, and Abhijit, and every Parul, everyone like a name, then I have to input those things only. If I want to put double values, then I have to put that. If I want to put characters A, B, C, D, then I have to use char. And I cannot put inside character like here I have written A, and then I am writing 1. So that will be what? Not similar data type will be there. Are you guys getting it? So this is the thing we see in array. Okay, so here I have to delete it. Okay, one more thing is it's stored in continuous memory location. This is integer, right? 7, so it will have 4 bytes. So 1024, so from it will take how many bytes? 4 bytes. So how, from where it will start? 1028, 10 like 32, 1036, and 1040, isn't it? So it will not happen 7 you entered here, then you skip this place, and 9 is entered here. Like this will not happen. Wait. So what is written? Stored in continuous memory locations. Continuous memory means 1024. This is one. This block is starting from 1028. This block is starting from, it's going from 1028 to 1031, isn't it? Because it has 4 bytes, because it's of integer type, isn't it? So it will not happen that 7 is stored and I skip this and I put 4 here. So that doesn't, that array doesn't allow that. Okay, so it should be in continuous memory allocation. So that means that thing. So this is, and one more thing is array index start from 0. So first index of this, like, so of an array is what? Index as 0. Then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you getting it? So for the next line I have written is, if an array has n elements, then array will have n minus 1 indexes as index start from 0. Are you guys getting it? If array has 5, here what, how many elements are there for array? I'll show you how declaration of array is done, how initialization of array is done. I'll show you that. So for this, what is written? That it starts, index start from where? Index start from 0, isn't it? So what it is writing here, if there is n elements, there will be n minus 1 indexes. You see 5 elements here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But fifth element has fourth index, isn't it? If it is n, then it will be n minus 1. This is 5 and this is fourth index, isn't it? This is fifth element. Fifth element has value 2. Correct. So fifth element has index what? 4. So if it is n, then it is n minus 1. This means that if an array has n elements, then array will have n minus 1 indexes. Are you guys getting it? Okay, so we'll see how to declare an array. How to declare a normal variable? We only write that data type and a, and we give, okay, this is a declaration of variable is done. Correct. Now we want to initialize that variable, isn't it? We used to initialize. So how initialization is done? Int, if I directly terminate here, so it is called declaration of an variable a. Correct. And if I want to do initialization, I'll take in like assignment operator and write 10, 20, anything value. So this is what this statement is read as what? So this whole thing is called statement until the semicolon. Okay, so this is called as initialization of a variable a of value 10. This is called as this. Are you guys getting it? Similarly, we can do with array also. We can declare it and then we do the initialization. So how to do it? We write data type like int, whatever we write. Are you guys getting it? Int, double float, anything. So data type is given. We write then array name. Array name can be anything. You write any array name, array, anything a name you give, and you give square bracket and you terminate it. This is what similar to this one, isn't it? So this was declaration of variable. This is declaration of array. This is the syntax you have to remember. This thing need to be remembered that this is how it is defined. Correct. Now we want to initialize it. We initialize directly here as 10, right? So what we do, we give data type here. We also give data type for the array also. Then we write variable name as a. We give variable like array name as something arr or array, whatever we give. Then we give, you know, what assignment operator. Then in curly braces we give the elements 1 2 3. Suppose I want to store integers, so I'll give 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So you see here I have defined with example int marks 4. 4 means what? The array size is 4. Size of an array is 4. You see 4 elements. So one more thing is array size is fixed. Array size cannot be changed. It's not linked list type. So I'll take one analogy with this, how array is the thing. You guys have bucket in your home, right? Like you put water. Suppose bucket has like you have some bucket in your home and it has like a capacity of 10 liters of water. So it cannot hold, like in any ways after 10 years it cannot hold more than 10 liters of water, isn't it? So it is fixed, size is fixed. Similarly, array size is fixed. Are you guys getting it? So it has, this is the limitation of an array. So array size, if once you define that array size, that cannot be changed. Are you guys getting it? Until and unless you change the size of the array. Like that much element only can be fixed. Like if there is bucket in your home, if it's 10-liter capacity, then it will store only 10 liters of water. Are you guys getting it? You cannot store more than 10 liters of water. It will flow out, isn't it? So that is what array size is fixed. Okay. So this is how with the thing it is done. Okay, guys. Great. Time is over. Okay, okay. Great. Guys, uh, today's time is over. I'll go through once. Tomorrow I'll start with arrays. Then I'll start with, I'll take a traverse an array, and I'll because I have another like I have to take another class also. Like I cannot extend more than this because I have to take the full stack program class also. People are waiting for me, you know. So tomorrow I'll start with traversing an array, and I'll take 1 2 example, and I'll explain one D, like already we're doing 1D array. This is 1D array only. This is 1 day array only. I'll show you the, like, arrays and pointers are closely related, how, so I'll try to cover that thing also, that array and pointers are how closely related, and we'll take examples of 1D array, and I'll explain you multi-dimensional array also few bit. Then we'll start with stack. Stack is basically those functionalities of things are there. Then at the last day we'll do the project. Okay. So before ending the session, I'll guys, again, our aim is to, like, I'll go through once. Our aim is to, like, make 50,000 employable developers with high skilled, and if you like, this is there is another program that is called as feature dev subscription model. So if you do that, it's only 399 for, you know it's a 399 subscription model for 2 months. You get, and you get 8 certificates. Like you get eight, like every week you have, uh, workshops. So you get certificates 8 days only for 399. It's a cheap deal. You guys can test it once, if you want. So this is the future day subscription. You get tech news, GitHub repositories, industry experts, and all the stuffs, and hackathon recommendation, everything. You get these things. And in that 2 months, what you get to learn: GitHub, SEO, DSA, Java, JavaScript, advanced Excel, everything you get to know. All those stuffs you things you get to know there. Okay, so well, if you want to like get that, you go to the link there. You'll find, I'll go through once. Its price is only 399, and you get 8 certificates within that 2 month. Every week there is a workshop. So this is a future dev one thing, and this is full stack program. If you guys want to like join, that is 6 months of course. And more than, it's written 7 to 10 hours, but it is more than this, more than 10 hours basically. And one-to-one mentorship. You can guys like, if you are joining the, we have two full stack program, that is web development and data science. If you do join web development, then I initially start with C++ and data structure. I take a lot huge time for that. I give like huge allocation for that. Data structure and algorithm, I basically make you prepare for covering 90% of the companies with data structure only. Then after that you do JavaScript, and you add those projects in your portfolio. That is done for that, like lots of projects in there. And I do people like make groups, and to make project in DSA only. Okay, so it's 100% job guarantee. And it's, main thing is one-to-one mentorship is there. And you guys to talk, like I give extra time to people on Saturday Sunday for their personal pain points. If they want to, like, if you are not getting in the class, I like, that is from my side, that I give Saturday Sunday also to them. Okay, so doubt clearing session is also there in Saturday Sunday. So you are not left any days, like from Monday to Friday you have classes of 1.3 like 5 hours to 2 hours. And on Saturday Sunday you have doubt clearing sessions and everything. And you get the certificate and everything for the 6 months. So if you join within this like month October, then you get what, 7,000 off. Okay, so guys, one more thing is okay, Sandesh pinned the uh, thing, that is future dev one program. You can check here. And if you want to access the certificate for this 5 days, what you have to do is, you have to go to there, to this one link. This one link you have to click. And then there you have, what you have to do is, you have to click, and you have to fill the attendance. This is the third day, guys. So I haven't filled anything, so it's showing 0 percentage. So you give the mobile number and everything, and you collect every day. You collect 10 LU coins, so you get 10 rupees discount every day. So if you collect 500 LU coins, then you get 500 rupees discount. So you guys can check on that. So after 50% progress bar completes, you get the certificate. It's a third day. Tomorrow will be fourth day. Then after that will be on the fifth day, that will do coding, and not coding, that project will do. Okay guys, so this is the thing. I'll end by saying this: I have to take class. I cannot extend the class because it's more than 1 hour now. Okay, thank you guys. uh, I am like XD. If you want object and classes, I do cover, but I cannot, sorry for that, I cannot cover here because I'll be left out with everything. You see, if I am explaining in like trying to explain something in deep, then that time what is happening is, like we are getting out of time. Like time is covering very fast. Are you guys getting it? So okay guys, thank you, good night, take care. Do practice. There is assignment problem will be given by uh, in the Sandesh will be giving the assignment. Try to do that. Two questions I've given on functions and things. Try to see how it is going on and how to do. Try to revise the video, then you'll get to know. Okay, thank you guys, good night everyone. Sandesh, you can stop the live.